Hey guys! Okay, so I'm going to try to make this video super quick, but I know it's going to be really long, so I apologize for it being really long because I know it's going to be really long instead of really quick. Anyways, so this video is going to be kind of like quickly updating you guys on what's been going on with this cycle, because I know I haven't made a video in like a really long time, and so I'm just going to update you guys on this cycle, and right now I'm cycle day 12. And if you guys follow me on Facebook, you kind of pretty much know all of this, but some of you don't have a Facebook, so I'm going to update you on what's going on. So I've been doing ovulation tests since day 10, or no, since maybe day 8. I don't remember. Maybe it was day 10. I don't know, but I think it was day 10. Okay, day 10, I started ovulation tests. Day 10, I also had a lot of cramping on my left side, and it was more towards the end of the night, and so the next day, which was Saturday, no, Sunday the 3rd, yeah, Sunday, April 3rd, I had a lot of cramping on my left side again, and it was like for 12 hours I had cramping. So I took an ovulation test day 10. That was the day I started feeling, you know, the cramps and stuff. I took two, one in the morning, one at night. Both were negative. On day 11, I took an ovulation test in the morning. Well, not in the morning. Around 1 o'clock-ish. And it was like straight up like positive. I mean, it looked so close to positive. I don't think it could have gotten any closer. And this is like little strips that are like just the strips, you know, instead of the actual sticks that you pee on. It's the strips that you dip. So when I saw that positive, I had the digital clear blue digital ones. So I went ahead and used the same urine and went ahead and did that. So that ended up saying it was negative, and I was really confused. And so, of course, I, put the picture on Facebook and asked everybody. So, let me talk about my temperatures before I go any farther. On day 10, day 9 and day 10, my temperature was 97.77 for both days. On day 8, it was 97.69. So they were all three like really, really close. Day 11, my temperature dropped to 97.52, and then today, which is day 12, it's a 97.23. So I am going to assume that I ovulated last night, which was day 11. After I got that positive strip, I did another strip that night around 10 o'clock, and it was negative. Like, it wasn't even like barely a line there. So I did another test this morning, and it looked slightly positive. Like, it wasn't as close as it was on day 11. So I'm just going to assume that I am ovulating right now, or ovulated on day 11. This is really, really early in my cycle to me. I think that's, kind of early. But who knows? Hopefully the follicles were big enough to be okay to get pregnant. And this cycle I was on Clomid on 100 milligrams days 5 through 9. So for me to finish on day 9 and then ovulate on day 11, it just seemed really weird. But I'm going to continue to do ovulation tests 2 times a day just to see. I'll probably stop when I get like a week away from my period. And I'll continue to do, obviously, my basal body temperature. Who knows, maybe tomorrow my temperature will like spike way up, and then I'll get my crosshairs on Fertility Friend. Who knows. Okay, so about my doctor's appointment the other day. A lot of you on Facebook, again, know that I was going to my first fertility doctor appointment with my new fertility doctor. Took me a really long time to find the place. It felt like it took me forever to get there, but he is really great. I absolutely love him. He was hilarious like the whole time. He was like tripping me out. Like, just the things that he was saying, I was just getting a crack out of it. But he pretty much told me he doesn't even know if the Clomid actually worked or not for me. based on what I have told him from my past, you know, fertility doctor stuff. So he's thinking this cycle, you know, we'll see if I ovulate. I'm going to get a 2-hour glucose tolerance test done around April 13th if I can get it around that day. And I think they're going to do a blood test to look at my progesterone levels to see if they're elevated to know if I'm ovulating or not. So that, I don't know what day they're going to do that, but he pretty much just basically said that based on everything that I've told him, he said it seems like a very strong possibility that we're going to do an IUI. We're not even going to do the mumbo jumbo dumb stuff. He said honestly, he goes, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. He's like, but I think that the HCG, not HSG, the HCG trigger shots, he said that he felt they were completely pointless and wasteful for me. That obviously isn't the case for everybody, but in my case, he said that he feels it was just a complete waste of time and pointless, and that he doesn't think they even did anything. So, which I am kind of agreeing with him, because I don't think I ovulated that night that I got the shot or whatever it's supposed to do. I don't think it worked. So he's looking right now to see if even the Clomid worked. I don't really know what else you would do for an IUI. I mean, you guys can give me some tips anyways, some, you know, advice on what to expect. I have no idea what to expect. But it looks like we're going to be possibly starting that in May, maybe in June. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that I do not have to do an IUI, that I get pregnant off of this cycle of Clomid. That would be so freaking awesome. Because then I would have a 2011 baby, and that's what I want really bad. So, yeah. Oh, and another update for you guys that you guys don't know, and even the people on Facebook. I had talked the other day about 2 weekends ago. Well, I don't really want to say 2 weekends. It was last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before of, let me look at my calendar, the 24th. The weekend of the 24th. My dog got hit by a car, and I know I talked about it on Facebook, and everybody was really concerned about her, and she's fine. She didn't have any broken bones. You know, the guy wasn't really going fast when he hit her. He just didn't see her when he was turning. And, you know, my husband was taking her for a run, and he let go of the leash, and she was fine for 2 miles, but she saw somebody across the street that she recognized, one of the dogs. And so she took off running across the street, didn't even look or anything. I don't even think she realized that car can hurt you till she got hit by one. And the way that he hit her, it hit her right eye, and her eye has pushed like down here. So we spent like $1,400 at the vet and at the emergency trauma clinic for her, and then at the eye doctor, and pretty much everybody was telling us, oh, her eye is ruptured, we're going to have to remove it. And I was so upset. I was crying so bad because I didn't want her to lose her eye. I mean, I'm sorry, but she has the most beautiful eyes in the world. But I didn't want her to lose her eye, and I was just really upset. And so I told my husband. He felt really bad because he was blaming himself. And I was like, I will not tolerate hearing you say that anymore. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, but you need to be strong, and we need to be strong together, and we need to be strong for her. I was like, and you know what? I said, honestly, I said, my God is bigger than anything of what those doctors are saying. I was like, and I don't care what they say. I'm like, God can put an eye back in her head. I'm like, if it's not there, if it's ruptured, whatever could happen that had happened to her eye, I'm like, I know that God will do whatever it takes to get her eye back. So we took her to the ophthalmologist, and we pretty much were like, you know, we're just gonna get her eye removed. I had just pretty much convinced myself that, not really convinced myself, but I just pretty much told myself, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. She has another eye. At least she's alive. And so I was just like, let's just we'll just take her eye, you know? I mean, if that's just what gotta happen, it's gotta happen. And I was willing to accept that. So, so we get to the doctor, and he said it looked like it was ruptured. He goes, sometimes the eye's just fallen. He said, but it's a very rare chance. So I called my mom throughout this whole process, and she was like, I'm still believing that her eye's still there. I'm still believing God's going to heal it. I was like, good. I was like, you know, keep believing that for me. It's like, we really need, you know, the boost of faith there. So she went back in surgery, and my husband and I went to the movies while we were waiting, because it was going to be like 2 or 3 hours. So we went and saw a movie while we were waiting, and, excuse me, as soon as I got in the movie, he called, and I was like, that's like really early. Like, what is he calling for? It freaked me out. So I stepped outside, and I was talking to him, and he was like, her eye is actually still there. Her eye isn't ruptured. He said, we can't tell if anything's holding it down, like a bony fragment, or if it's just, you know, so deviated, like deep into her eye socket. They really couldn't tell much of what was going on, but they're like, you know, he's like, her eye's still there, and he said, it looks like it's a good working eye still. He said, I don't think we're going to need to take it. So right now, we waited 2 weeks. We still have another week to wait. I'm taking her on Monday back to the ophthalmologist for them to look at it, because he wanted for the swelling to go down and see if it would kind of try to pop back up in place. Otherwise, we're going to see what he says. Hopefully, he says, you know, her eye can be able to be put back in place, and we don't need to get it removed after all. She's been doing great right now with one eye. I mean, she's definitely got used to the depth perception. At first, she kept running into stuff, and like she would go to reach for something, and she would just, you know, be closer than what she thought. And so it's been really tough for her at first, but she's back to her normal self. She's my little baby again. At first, she was all sad and depressed, and I felt extremely bad for her. I was like, I just wish I could take the pain and make her all better. So, yeah, I know that was a lot of rambling, and it's just going to be like a 13-14 minute video, and I so apologize for that. But I had a lot to update you guys on, and I thought you guys would like to know about my dog. So keep her in your prayers, please, that on Monday when we take her, you know, they'll be able to fix her eye. And keep your fingers crossed for me. I've got like this hair that's sticking out. Wow, crazy. So keep your fingers crossed for me that this is my cycle, and that I have ovulated, and we use pre-seed, so hopefully the pre-seed worked with, you know, the baby dancing, and we're going to do it again tonight, just in case. And, yeah, that's all that I can think to blab on about. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week so far, because it's the start of the week and it just started. So yeah, I hope you're having a great Monday night by the time you guys see this, or Tuesday, or whatever day you watch this. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling on, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.